Today we're going to be talking about the rudest influencers that we've met in some of our stories and why, honestly, we don't even like to be called influencers.
Welcome back to Your Cup of Tea podcast. I am Josh.
And I am Katie. And today the tea is getting sizzling. But honestly, we have so many stories because, I've been doing YouTube for 10 plus years.
The word influencer used to be such like a sought after name. And now I think people hate to be called that.
Actually, I think it almost used to be something that like people didn't understand. They didn't know what it was because, guys, I've been an influencer from the time where it was like not cool to be an influencer to the time where it was cool.
And then
now to the time where I still think people think it's cool, but I think a lot of people, some influencers have made it a little bit of a joke, but some of them have done great things too.
Yeah, and that's what we want to cover today is we're going to talk about obviously the rudest influencers and like pretty much the scenarios that influencers have done that we've even seen or been involved with that is the reason why people don't even want to be called that or people don't like that word. Because doesn't everyone just go like influencer? Like you don't want to say it, but like
I think some people, because it's like, I don't know. I feel like influencers can definitely get a bad rap. And I think some of it's honestly like there's a reason for it. But I feel like a lot of times influencers, I guess, get a bad rap because sometimes I feel like they're just like, they'll complain or they'll be like, my life's so hard or like work is so hard. And like to an outside looking in, they're like, oh my God, all you do is post pictures for a living or you make a silly little YouTube video. So I think some influencers make it seem harder than it is, but some really do grind. And I guess
I think there's so many different scenarios and it's all perspective and how you look at it. Like I don't really hate the word influencer. Like I just joke about it. But I think, everything we talk about is going to be like a mindset on things. But
for me, the word influencer, I think it's cool. I think there's like, the thing I don't like about it is like, I don't know, there's a lot of like TikTokers and certain people who have kind of ruined the word influencer.
Yeah, they've given it a bad rep.
In my opinion, I still like the word because I do feel like we have an influence on people and I do really think that that's important. So I like to have an influence on people because if I feel like I have a positive outlook on life, I would love to influence other people. So like to me, that's a cool thing.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the influence you have on people, and I would say we have a pretty good influence, but I'm hoping by the end of this podcast, we don't realize that we are part of the problem.
I know.
And hopefully we're like part of the solution.
Do you ever think that like someone's come up to us and had like a bad experience or like been like, JD Vlogs is rude?
That's what scares me, because
that's like my biggest fear.
We've met so many amazing people over the years of doing like this social media thing. And I would like to say in my head, there's just no possibility that someone could say that.
The reason I feel like, or I really hope that that's not the case. And I really feel like people have had a good experience was because a lot of our friends always comment. That's like a number one thing our friends always are like even when you were on that one podcast with Ricky and all them, they were like, you guys are so nice to your fans. Like you guys just are so sweet to them. And to me, it's just like, I couldn't imagine like,
how could you be mean to someone that's supporting
like
your
dreams
doing
and everything you have in your life. But the reason I say, how could you is because people have.
And we've met people that we've seen them rude to fans and we've seen them be rude to us or other influencers.
I have been doing YouTube, like I said, for 10 years. I've been to so many playlist lives. I've been to VidCons. I know the old creators. I know the new creators. I've met so many people. And today we're going to be talking about
around the block in the industry. Oh my gosh.
So should we just start spilling the tea and like get right to like our story? We have so many stories.
Yeah. So I was going to say, we've had the opportunity of meeting so many influencers. And just to throw the disclaimer out there, I feel like overall, very good experience.
Overall good experience. I wouldn't say that most of them are mean. And a lot of them, I think it could have just been like,
you never know what someone's got going on in their life.
Yeah, maybe they were going through something. There's a couple of them where I'm like, no, they're just a terrible person. But like,
I wanted to say asshole.
Yeah.
She really wanted to say it.
Just one of them in particular. Actually, two of them.
Okay.
One of them, I think maybe just went through a little bratty phase in their life. And then the other one, I'm just like, I just think the fame got to him. And we're going to dive into that. And we've also met a ton of great influencers, which we're going to be talking about that too. Let's talk. Okay, I just have a list. Want to just go off the list?
She has a list.
Okay.
Let's go.
We met Logan Paul.
Okay, Logan Paul, we met at the fight. So I fought on the same card as Logan Paul, and that is where we got engaged and everything. So I'm sure you guys know that story if you've been following our YouTube journey. If not, we'll get in that story more on another podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But I met him backstage a couple days before the fight.
You guys were like taking pictures for the promo stuff of the fight?
There's actually like a video of us meeting.
Who took that video?
The promotion, the boxing promotion took that video because they were like following him around. And it just so happened to be we met. But if you watch that video, it's kind of funny because I almost look, starstruck's not the right word, but like I guess nervous would be the right word, because I was just so like shocked that he knew me. Like he like honestly such a nice guy. He like literally came up to me like he was one of my boys. He's like, "What's up, man? Like, oh, I saw you at the fights. Like, you guys are crushing it. Like, killing it on YouTube." Blah, blah. I'm like, you know who I am. Like,
the thing is like, you know, like we knew that he knew who you were. He talked about you in a podcast on Impulsive before, and he had mentioned you. But sometimes I feel like influencers like to pretend they don't know people.
Well, that's what I'm saying,
and that's like, what we had expected.
Yeah,
you know?
Like, and I'm not saying I expected like the worst of him, but like,
no.
I just feel like most people would just kind of pretend like they would have just walked right by.
Like they're above you or something. And like, so I know we said we're going to talk about people like the tea of people that were rude, but Logan Paul was actually,
we had to start it off with on a positive note. Yeah, he was super cool.
He was super cool. He told us, he was like, if you guys want to get to, or not, he's like, you guys should have a baby, get to 10 mil subs. And we're like, bro, we do not want a baby.
Yeah, that was his advice for us. And then, yeah, and he was just a really cool guy, and then we also seemed super genuine.
We met him again recently. Oh, did we meet him like 3 times or 2?
I don't know, but we saw him at Coachella, and again,
he came
thing.
Right up to Josh.
Super cool. Came up.
We were talking with our friends, and he like pulled you. He's like, "Yo, what's up, dude?" And then started talking to him, and then
yeah,
he
like
was just super nice.
I have
like,
nothing
about
bad
fighting.
to say about that guy. He just seems like he actually seems like,
you know,
I've met a lot of influencers, but he seems like someone that I could actually be friends with. Like,
yeah, you guys seem very
outside
similar.
of social media, everything. Like he seems like a competitive dude, like, and like a funny dude, like an active guy, like everything. Like I'd be about. Like I was like super cool guy.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of his friends seem really cool too. And I don't know, he just seems. And every experience we've had with him, he seems really nice. And
like
it's
he literally
funny.
gave me his phone number. He's like, "Dude, text me. Like, let's train sometime or something." I was like, "Bro, like why are you so chill?" Like
we've like I don't even know what I was gonna say. I totally just had a. Oh no! We've actually defended him a lot. Like I feel like a lot of people be like, "Yeah, but he's a dick." Like, and I was like, "They're like he just seems like a dick," and I'm like, "Actually, like he's really not."
The way it
like,
always starts is everyone's like, "You should fight that Logan Paul dude.
He's gotta be such a douchebag.
He's such a douche." I'm like, I literally I got his back. I'm like, honestly, he's like super cool.
I was like, he's pretty chill. Like I can't say anything bad about someone, especially if I haven't had a bad experience.
Bro, I didn't know you were chill like that.
Bro, I didn't.
Okay. If you're listening, Katie had to hit the TikTok dance.
Okay, so we talked about someone good. Now let's talk about someone where we didn't necessarily have the best experience. This person we didn't technically meet.
This is a we or a you?
You.
Okay, because Katie's she's a little more famous than me.
Oh, shut up.
She knows a lot more people.
I've just been in the YouTube industry a little longer. No, so the next one is Austin Mcbroom.
Oh my god.
The Ace family, very well known. They've had lots of scandals. They've had lots of stuff.
Wow. Yep.
So tell the story what happened with him.
Okay, so this is a perfect example of, first of all, there's a couple things we need to touch on, but basically, he shot me a DM. He would put on the Social Gloves fight event, and everybody knows the scandal with that. Like, I mean, it was horrible.
No one got paid.
Get paid, everything.
Yeah.
He hit me up. He's like, "I have a fight for you. Blah blah blah. Call me." Sends me his number. Call him. We talk. Everything's good. I'm stoked. I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna get to fight."
Josh, at this point, like, mind you, like we don't really watch too much YouTube, or like we're not really. I used to when I was younger, but like we don't like. I don't feel like we're not normally like starstruck by these people that like, I don't know, like Austin Mcbroom is just like Austin Mcbroom does. Like Logan Paul we thought was cool because we're like, he's done a lot, like he's very successful, like, and I still wouldn't be like, I'm a fan of Logan Paul. I'm just like, I appreciate like what he does. Like I think he does a really good job, and
yeah, I like to look at everybody just as a person, and like I've never really watched the Mcbroom's videos or whatever. No. So like to me, I was like, oh, he sounds like a nice guy, like super cool, whatever. And then he hits me up. He's like, all right, like you're gonna be fighting Harry Jowsey. And he's like, come out to LA. We're putting on a little, what was it, like a parade almost for the fight.
They were doing like
for the fight.
Yeah, and like for the Ace family, an Ace family like parade on Rodeo.
It was supposed to be for the fight.
Yeah. Just all his
and he's like
it was on Rodeo Drive.
Yeah. In LA, and he's like,
he's like, come down to LA.
Everyone's meeting at my house. We're gonna get together. All the fighters are gonna be here. You're gonna meet all the fighters. We'll all take a bus down, go to Rodeo Drive, promote the fight, and then like That's it. And I was like, for us, it was an hour, like 45-minute flight. So I was like, let's go. Like,
and like, especially for you in the fighting, where like Josh has got to get his name out there more for the fight, because I feel like no one wants to fight you because they all like look at like your Instagram or like he's shredded or he looks like really good, or it's just really hard for you to get fights.
I know. And so I was super excited about that. So we go to LA for the weekend. We're there Friday. Saturday comes around.
And you also had the plan to like talk to Harry Jowsey, because you guys were like not like beefing on Instagram, but like beefing, like trying to get a fight there.
Yeah, we were trying to, make something happen.
And you knew Harry was going to be there too.
Of course. And and we had another obligation to be in LA. We were doing a different podcast actually out there. So it just all worked out. I was like, let's do it. We go out there. Saturday comes around, basically tells me, he's like, oh, no one's meeting at the house anymore. Just meet at Rodeo Drive. Like, go to this like location.
Just meet here.
Obviously, like, I knew what that meant. Like, he's like, he doesn't care.
Then we saw like they clearly all went, which whatever.
Yeah,
like,
I saw on Instagram,
fine.
it was like they all met at the house, blah, blah, blah. Like, he had already sent me the address to the house, but he's like, oh, don't meet here anymore. Just
basically,
go here.
like, don't come anymore. And then he was like, we'll all meet here.
Yeah, and he knew we were flying out, like, to go also do that. So I was like, okay, that's kind of messed up. And then obviously when we went to Rodeo Drive, like, we never met, never got to talk to any of the fighters. I did actually meet Harry Jowsey there, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, so that was just,
you like texted him and like he totally like, I don't know.
It was just a shitty
like,
experience.
The like text messages he sent you, the way he was acting, he was like, go here. And then it was almost like you were like ghosted. And it was like, bro, like, we don't really care to like meet him. It was more so about like the fighters and stuff. And to me, it was just kind of like, we're like, this guy's kind of like a dick for doing that.
In my opinion, it's I understand he probably had a lot going on, but like he knew the circumstances. Like, we had verbally talked on the phone for like a 20-minute phone call.
He like convinced you to come out there too.
There from a different state, and like for him to do that, I think is just a little shitty. And then, not to mention, so we actually went to the event in Miami to watch it with some friends. And I saw a bunch of fighters there, talked to a bunch of guys. They're all cool. Like same situation we were talking about with Logan Paul. How he's like, oh, like he came up to us. Like he was super cool. Like didn't act like he didn't know us. Austin Mcbroom looked me right in the face, walked right by. Like I didn't exist. Maybe he didn't know who I was. Maybe he didn't recognize me.
He knows who you are. He went to go say something to you too.
We had a vlog camera.
He also was trying to talk to you at your first fight.
True.
He was gonna say something to you, but he didn't. He kept like turning around and everyone.
Yeah,
like,
and maybe these are one of those situations where like he had a lot on his mind. Maybe he had to be somewhere. He's got kids.
But
like,
that was just like a almost like rubbed the wrong way type, and we were like, okay, that was like definitely wouldn't be like hitting him up.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna write him off as a person. Like he's 100% like a dick, but
it just felt like a very like it felt like almost like
for me
intentional the way he went about it. I feel like he could have went like didn't even send like a hey my bad bro, like not even like a my bad, like,
and then calls me a couple days later like, oh yeah, the fight's still on, blah blah blah, and then obviously the fight never happened.
Yeah. Anyway. So that was our Austin Mcbroom. Oh, but you did run into Harry Jowsey.
Yeah, we did talk there. Super funny guy. Like,
oh my,
his accent, like he's tall as hell. He's like 6'5".
I feel like we didn't get to know him like that much, but like he seemed friendly and
really nice.
His friend though was so funny. Whoever his friend was like was totally like the reality TV. Like it was called like F Boy Island.
He was
like,
on F Boy
Island. And he comes up and he's like, yeah, like I'm on F Boy Island, like, you know, I won though because like I'm the biggest F boy in the island.
The show didn't come out yet, but I won that shit.
But I won that, and we're like,
I was like, what's the show called? He's like, Fuck Boy Island,
and we're like, oh, cool.
It was like good stuff.
It was just so like if I felt like I was literally talking to like an MTV character. I don't even know that kid's name or anything, but I thought that was just like a funny experience. But Harry Jowsey was nice. I feel like he basically was saying that he'll never fight you, like which obviously he's not really a fighter and.
Yeah, I just don't.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense
in the fight game at all. So
speaking of fights,
oh god.
Okay, so when we were at Josh's fight, there was a fight that broke out right in front of us. It was between Bradley Martin and Vitali. He was a huge prankster. I actually used to live in the same apartment complex and see him all the time.
Bro, props to that guy for taking on Bradley Martin, probably one of the swollest dudes in the industry. This Bradley Martin's arm is bigger than my entire body, I think.
Do you think he's juicing?
I don't know.
He's huge.
But he's huge.
Okay.
And I'm not picking a fight with them. That's for sure.
They're both, but do you know how big Vitali is? He was 2.
He's a bigger guy, but like, come on.
They're both big, but he's big and short.
It was Vitali was short. Random. So we're sitting for like, not from, like 7 rows back from the front at the boxing fight, or maybe closer.
We're like 2 rows, babe.
Yeah, like 4 rows back. We're 4 rows back.
Not even.
Okay, we're 3 rows back.
I'm married stuff. No,
They're sitting front row, and he walks up and is almost like, what do you do? He like choked him, like as a joke.
I think he like grabbed up, like he like joked with him, and Bradley Martin, I think, freaked out and started punching him, or one of them they just started beating the crap out of each other.
I thought the guy like walked up to him and like grabbed him either on the neck, or there's videos on YouTube of it, or like choked him or something.
And the other one started freaking
like
out.
Literally slapped his hand away, clocked him with two right.
They literally
like straight to the face, and then security came. They didn't even kick him out.
No, because then they kind of were like, oh my bad.
Like, oh, it's a joke. We're boys.
We're just boys. Is that they probably pretended so they didn't get kicked out?
And then
I think they were fine.
Yeah, and they were fine the rest of the night.
We all look at each other like, what just happened?
You're mad. And first of all, he just took 2 shots by one of the swollest dudes on planet to the chin and ate it.
That's insane.
Okay, ate it.
I do have a little tea on Vitaly. If you guys even know, I feel like most people, he was really big back in the day, like with pranks and stuff. Since I lived in an apartment complex, I was always in the elevator, and he always had 2 girls with him, like different girls, always bringing him up to his room. But I feel like if you follow Vitaly, that's not like that's really his demographic. That's like his thing. Even tea. Okay, next person. This girl's really big, and I actually went on a trip with her.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone listening knows her. Emma Chamberlain.
Wow. I forgot you went on that trip.
Yeah. So I actually went on a trip.
First started dating. Did you talk about me at all?
Babe. Not to her. So let me get my story.
Okay.
So anyway, we went on a trip with this company that I don't even think it's a company anymore. It was called a Dote Trip. And I went with her. I went with Olivia Jade and a ton of other influencers.
Huge influencer trip.
Yeah. Big influencer trip. There's probably like 15, 20 girls.
Fiji
15?
or something?
Yeah, we went
to
Fiji.
Where the water's from?
It was a sick trip. Although,
was the water amazing?
Actually, no.
There?
I'm going to back it up. It was a beautiful place, a terrible trip. Not terrible. It just wasn't that great.
Could have been better.
The reason I really didn't like it is because I feel like in that moment, I just realized I don't like being called an influencer, or if like the girls that I was with, and mind you, there was a lot of girls who were amazing and so awesome, but there was a lot of girls who I think were very bratty and very stuck up and complaining about everything. And to me, I was just like, if this is like what being an influencer is, I don't want any part in this, because I just felt like I was in the most beautiful place in the world and everyone was complaining about it. Everyone was pissed off because we were on a boat and it was too wavy, or why would they take us to a restaurant in the middle of the ocean? Like, that's so scary. But to me, I was like, this is the coolest experience ever. And I felt sad in that moment because I was experiencing something so cool with no one. And that made me realize, I was like, I just wish you were here, or someone like my best friend was there, or someone that I like knew. And so anyway, what were you gonna say?
Well, I was just gonna say that goes to show that like experiences in life, it also like depends on who you're surrounded with, because like you're with people you don't know, like obviously and so it was from social media, but
it was intimidating for me,
and it probably felt like a little like
it felt cliquey. So that's the thing is, when I went, at the time, like Emma Chamberlain, like she had like 2 other friends that they were like all friends with, and then Olivia Jade was friends with them, and like they all hung out, and it wasn't like a rude thing or anything like that. They just were all like the bigger influencers.
The Olivia Jade scandal girl.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, I go on the trip. Actually, the only one of those girls that really talked to me, besides like I know like Hannah Maloche and Ellie Thurman. I've talked to them like other times. They're super sweet girls, but the only one that was a bigger influencer that actually would make a time of their day and go talk to people was Emma. So Emma was actually really sweet. I have nothing bad to say about her.
She seems like she would be like,
she was very chill. Like, it wasn't like she was trying to be my bestie. I wasn't trying to be her bestie, but it was also a really uncomfortable situation for me because I felt like I didn't want to like go up and talk to these bigger influencers because I feel like they were all like, oh, they would talk shit about other people, not Emma, like other girls. They'd be like, she's just clout chasing. Like, she's a clout chase. So I was like, I didn't want to go.
Sounds like an influencer trip if I've ever heard of one.
Yeah. And I like didn't want to go talk to certain people because I was like, well, I want to like hang out with other girls, but I don't want them to think I'm clout chasing. So I felt like I could only talk to the people that were in my, right. But now if I were to go back, I would not care. Like, I would be like, so well, then that's your opinion. So I feel like I've grown as a person too.
That's what's so weird in the industry. So like that's a perfect example, because like to me, I wouldn't want to like just run up to Logan Paul and like say what up, because like I would hate for him to look at me and be like, oh, he's only coming to say hi because he wants to be on my podcast or something. Yeah. Like, I don't care about that. But but I feel like there's so many people out there, influencers, like bigger influencers, that would like suspect that or just assume that, like, oh, they're only talking to me because like they want to be like in my circle.
In the bigger girls' defense, there was other girls on the trip that were definitely like, let's get a picture, let's do this, like let's get a picture. And it was like,
Oh, I'm
Okay,
sure
they're
people
definitely
do that. It's called social climbing, and people do it all the time. Like that's why people move to LA.
But anyway, on the trip, and this is a funny story, is that I actually made a video one time when the whole like Olivia Jade thing came out, and I deleted it because I felt bad, because I felt like it was giving like mean girl energy, and I wasn't proud of that. And so
I remember that.
I like made a video of my experience because like it was about the Fiji trip, and I didn't really say anything like that mean or that bad. I just felt like it was like a mean girl type of video.
You didn't say anything mean or bad about her, but when we really like, because I remember like I also influenced you, like we talked about that.
Yeah.
And I remember it was like, okay,
I was like, do I delete?
This girl's getting like posted about by every person that's ever met her on social media. I was like, you didn't say anything bad, whether you said anything bad or not, it's like she's already under attack.
Yeah, she doesn't need any more. But that being said, no, I'm just kidding.
But we're gonna spill the tea.
That being said, I'm not gonna like go into detail, but like she just
was she bratty? I mean, yeah, that's fair to say. That's not drama. Like,
but she was. But the difference is, I guess I grew up in a small town, and she grew up in LA. There's a big difference. Her dad's like a designer, a brand. He's like a big top designer. Right. She comes to the airport head to toe, like dripped in designer, which no shame in that. Like that's not saying you're a brat or anything.
There's different lifestyles.
But the way I guess like she would go about, like if I were to like talk to her, she was definitely very like standoffish and rude. And just the conversations I would overhear, I just was like, that's not what I want to associate myself with. But I'm saying she was also young. I'm sure she's grown up a ton. I'm sure that whole scandal thing has done a number on her growing up too.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about how you learn from the past and stuff. But I was gonna say, I can only imagine like you on that trip, like wanting to like run on the beach, go swimming, snorkel,
these influencer
jump
girls,
off the boat. Like
they don't know what it's.
Probably didn't want to.
They don't want to. They thought, guys, I jumped off this little. It was like a 10-foot dock.
I remember.
And
that.
they're like, "You're wild. You're gonna jump in the ocean. Like you're so crazy." They're like, "She's so crazy." Like not in a bad way. Like they're just like, "I can't believe you would do that. That's so scary." And I'm like,
she's wild,
I was like, bro, we are in the ocean. I'm jumping in the ocean. This is not that deep. None of them wanted to get their hair wet. They wanted to take pictures. And that's fine. I get taking pictures. But to me, it was like, oh my God, we are in the coolest place ever. I wanted to go surfing. I wanted to go snorkeling. And all we did was take pictures. And I was like, I'm so bored. Like, this is where I was like, I don't want to be an influencer. It's a content trip.
That's what it was though, you know? So.
I guess not really though. It was also supposed to be experience.
Totally. But I'm saying like, I feel like for most influencers, like they deem stuff like that
but for
as a content trip.
I did not fly like 15 hours away.
That was so far.
So far from Michigan.
I remember we were dating and I was like, we were trying to talk. We had just started dating.
Actually, it was longer than 15.
And
yeah.
But yeah, you were on such a different time zone. We barely could even talk. I remember you were staying either waking up super early or staying up super late to talk to me.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
I definitely made the effort to talk to you because I was like obsessed.
The question myself and everybody listening, of course, is waiting to hear is
what?
Did you tell him about your boyfriend or what?
Oh my God. I told them all about my boyfriend. Not like Olivia Jade or Emma Chamberlain, because I didn't have that. I didn't talk to them that much.
Because you were rooming with a girl.
Yeah. I told her. I told the owners of the company all about them. And they're like, you guys are so cute. Like all I could talk about was you. Okay, next person. I wonder if you've ever met this person. Have you ever met? Wait, I actually have a really funny story about this person. Is I was writing down all the people I've met. I know. I was writing down people I met, and I wrote down Patrick Star, and I was like, wait,
Patrick Star.
I was like Patrick Star from
Bikini Bottom, Patrick Star,
and I was like, oh shit, it's Jeffree Star.
You wrote Patrick Star down.
And then I was like, wait, why did I just write Patrick Star? So, Jeffree Star.
I haven't met him, but I've seen him.
I actually just watch his podcast on Impulsive. I don't really watch too much podcast. I'll watch some.
An interesting one, I'm sure.
He was actually really cool in the podcast, and I was like, okay, he seems really nice. But I've met him before briefly, not really. Actually, okay, I didn't meet him. I saw him.
Okay.
Multiple times actually. I've seen him 3 times.
Was it a strip club or a club?
A strip club, I think. So anyway, Jeffree Star, I've seen him 3 times. All 3 times he's been going into a club with an entourage. And like when I mean Jeffree Star pulls up to a club, he has an entourage and it looks like it's the biggest A-list celebrity you've ever seen. Like he is big. I didn't know the first time I met him, or not met, I keep saying met, I didn't meet him. The first time I saw him was in Park City, Utah during the Sundance Film Festival, and he walked in and I was like, who is that? Like literally, I'm pretty sure there was like paparazzi or something with him. Like he was like a top.
kind of a big deal.
At the time, I didn't know who he
company.
was. And now, like, it's just funny because we've seen him so many times. So I don't really have experience on how he is as a person, but I
remember
thought that was funny.
in Miami, he was going to it was a strip club.
Well, we were going there too.
It was like a club.
Was it a strip club?
Yeah.
We were going there too, though. Or we were going to. But the line to get in was like 2 hours. Jeffree Star walks right past.
Back door.
Well, because when you're like buying tables, like he probably is and throwing the money.
He probably spends a lot of money there.
Yeah.
We were not about to do that.
But I've never personally met him. I've just seen him a couple times. So
he looks like a character.
Let's talk about. We
are tapping into literally like fitness, the makeup industry.
Every influencer we've come across. Next one I want to talk about. This one had me so sad. This is the worst influencer I think I've met.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was 18 years old when I met them.
Okay.
And I was so excited to meet them.
Say.
It was at.
It's a guy too. You probably had a little crush on him, huh? I'm just kidding.
Ew, no. Okay, I was so excited to meet him. Me and my sister, like I literally watched his videos.
This dude is a funny guy.
Funny guy. So it's at Players Live. It was Rice Gum. So I don't even know if you guys like he was really big a couple of years ago. I don't even know if he does YouTube or any. I haven't heard anything from him.
I don't know.
Maybe he just like did it really quick. I don't know. He grew really fast, but at the time, I think he only had about 300, 400,000 subscribers. I had more than him. Not saying that should change anything, but it's not like I was coming up to him. Like I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with you. Like Rice Gum, you're so cool. I literally was like, oh, hey, I've seen your videos. I was like, they're really dope. He looks at me, dead ass, looks at me and my sister up and down. He goes, cool. Turns around.
Wow.
I go, me and my sister look at you. We go, what the frick? Well, we said, what the F? I was like, are you kidding me?
Dude, that's what blows my mind.
I was like, are you kidding me? Like, we were just so nice to you. And you literally, and it wasn't like, oh, cool. It was like, literally, like, cool.
What's crazy too is because you're at an influencer event. So it's like, he knows
it was
you have
the
to be
after
an
party.
influencer. No, I know. And what's crazy is like, okay, so maybe that is like you can't at least fake it to make it. Like, at least be nice. Like, you know you're talking to somebody that does like the same stuff as you.
And like mind you, at these influencers party, you have to be somewhat of a like decent size influencer to like, and like, not that he should even treat a fan like that. Like, even if he thought I was a fan.
Anybody like that.
And I just remember I was like, dude, I can't even watch his videos the same. Like, that was so rude. I was like, for what reason? Like, I was like, there's no way of explaining.
I could see that though. Like,
but he changed a lot. Like, I mean, maybe I never knew him from the beginning, but he seemed a little more nice in the front. And then towards the end, like, I feel like he was getting really cocky, really rude. And I'm like, okay, this makes sense. But at the time I was just like so excited because I thought he was really funny. Like, I wasn't trying to be his friend. Like, I didn't think he was actually like a dope, like, person where I want to hang out with. I was just like saying like, I think your videos are really funny. Like, you make good content. And like, to be like almost like disrespected, like for going out of your way to like go say something to someone, I was like, that hurt. Like, that was just rude. And then I was like, I will never be like that. Like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that gives you perspective on how we would want to treat others now.
Yeah.
Like, we would never want to treat someone like that.
Yeah. And I hope I can't even say I hope we never have, because I know we never have.
I just know we haven't. The only thing I will say before you continue on with your list, because it's a long one, the only thing I would feel bad for a subscriber or supporter coming up to us is like post gym, like sweaty.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, I literally said, I was like,
okay.
I'm sorry. Like, I'm kind of sweaty. Like, we met you at the gym, or like right after we grabbed like food.
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry.
Although I actually had one experience with a subscriber that was kind of bad. Not bad, but I was actually pissed about it. Yeah. I literally was.
I remember that.
A subscriber was trying to take a naked picture of me. Like, what? No.
They were trying to leak the
nudes. No, I'm just kidding. But they literally, so I'm at the gym Lifetime, right? And I'm showering because back then I used to have to shower at the gym because I lived like 30 minutes away from Josh. So we'd work out, then I'd shower. Anyway, that was kind of relevant to the point.
I was like, thanks for telling that, but
okay, I had to give the backstory. So I'm in the shower and I see a fan, I saw a fan before, and they're like, oh my gosh, like, you're Katie. And I was like, oh yeah, hi, nice to meet you. Like, we like had like our interaction and stuff. And then I go in the shower, and then I hear two girls talking. She's like, she's in there. She's in the shower. Go take a picture. Go take a picture. She's in the shower. Bro. And I'm like literally naked in the shower. Like,
I would have showered so
my
quick.
God, I did. I had the worst shower of my life. Like, I'm pretty sure I walked out with like soap still in my hair. So I have the towel And then I'm trying to get change and like not be naked in front of a subscriber. I don't know. It just felt weird to be like naked in front of them. And they're like taking pictures of themselves like in the mirror,
but you're in the
trying
background.
to you're not supposed to take pictures in the locker room. But like if you do, you make sure no one's naked in the background. So they're trying to take pictures while I was changing. So I literally couldn't change. And I asked them, I was like, hey guys, like, would you mind? Like, I was like, I literally was so nice about it too. I was like, hey guys, would you mind like not taking pictures? I'm changing. And like, it was so awkward. And they're like, oh yeah, yeah. And then they were just like really kind of like weird. Like they kept going in the other pod and like peeking over. And I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to get changed here. Like, this is really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I would have gone and changed in the bathroom at that point. I feel like that would have been a little weird.
But that was my like awkward subscriber interaction. That was so weird.
I have one to talk about too, but I'll talk about it later. It's not that awkward. No, let's continue on the list and we'll come back to it.
You're going to forget.
No, I won't.
Okay, so the next people is Alyssa Violet and Chantel Jeffree. I don't even know how you say it.
Chantel Jeffree.
I think that, I don't know.
Jeffree, I'm pretty sure. But
anyway, it's Justin Bieber's ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
And Alyssa Violet. And so I went on another like kind of like brand trip to Sundance Film Festival. I was on a flight with Logan Paul, Alyssa Violet, Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul was on it. Yeah, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Alyssa Violet, and Chantel Jeffree, whatever her name is. Anyway.
I think it's Jeffree.
Besides the point. I was in the background of Logan Paul's video and I looked so bad. It was all my like subscribers were like, you're in Logan Paul's video. I'm like, oh God, that's embarrassing. But anyway, so I'm on the plane. Alyssa Violet was behind me. First of all, they were being really obnoxious.
Of course.
Like rude obnoxious. Not like, oh, like I'm sure I've been loud and obnoxious. Like it was kind of like a bit much.
I feel like that was back. Like,
that was back in the influencer
like,
obnoxious
the
days.
YouTube like was like, how annoying can you be?
Yes.
That
and film it.
Did good.
And so
in public,
she screams. She goes, "Hey, Chantel!" and like screams at her. So you're on a plane. People don't scream on a plane like that. I like looked back like that. Like I literally got scared. Like I thought something was wrong. So I just like looked back, and then she was recording. She recorded, zoomed up on my face. She goes, ew, why did she like look at me like that? Or like, why did she look Snapchat, at right? Like this girl's face, or said something like that? Like, why did this girl look at me? Like kind of like made fun of me on her Snapchat. Mind you, her Snapchat had like millions of views.
Of course.
And I was like made fun of on her Snapchat. And I just remember I was like, bro, she literally just snapped my face making fun of me because she screamed. And all I did was look back. I didn't give her a dirty look. I literally just looked back like what was that? And I was like, it was so embarrassing. Like people from high school were sending me pictures of it. Like my subscribers were sending me pictures of it. She's like, oh, she's making fun of you on her Snapchat.
Yikes.
And I remember I was like, bro, what the heck? Like you're the one screaming. I just looked back. Like I was like, okay, like that was embarrassing.
Well, yeah,
like,
I mean, when someone screams on a plane, I think I would look back too.
So I'm not saying like she's like a terrible person, but I just remember I was like, bro, that was kind of rude. Like that was just a weird experience I had.
Totally.
And yeah, that was my like one time on that. But I just remember I was like, bro, I literally just got made fun of like for doing nothing.
For just
existing.
Yeah, for existing.
Okay. And that also, next person, you said you met Jake Paul.
I did. So that was also at the fight. Obviously, I just won. I just proposed to you. I'm backstage. You know, I get my hand wraps, my gloves, everything comes off. And I think I just showered. I'm walking back to come watch the fights, and he's walking by me. And like, obviously, he knew who I was at that point. I knew who he was.
Because did he watch your fight? Like, where was?
I'm sure somewhere, like either in the back or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, you know, he goes, "Oh, good fight, bro." And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Me and you got to run it." And he goes, "Yeah, let's do it." And like, we just like kept walking by. It was really like nothing that serious. But I just remember because he was like pimped out. Like he had like a cane, like some crazy outfit on.
What do we really expect?
And then there was me, and I was like, dude, I could fight him. And then like that was before he really did all the crazy fights, and now he's fighting Anderson Silva, the guy who got me started fighting.
Who did he fight at that time?
He hadn't even fought like professionally yet. Wasn't it just he had only fought.
Who was the first, like Gibb or no KSI? He fought KSI first.
Did he?
Yeah, I think it was him versus KSI.
No, he fought Deji.
He fought Deji, and
then he fought Gibb professionally.
But that was after.
That was way after.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked about YouTube, and we'll get back to some YouTubers, but let's talk TikTokers. Let's talk one of the biggest TikTok, like maybe second biggest. second biggest TikToker?
I would
or the biggest?
definitely say
One of the biggest?
I would say the biggest, like an actor. Like I think she's embraced
I think
the
Charlie's bigger than
social
her, though.
media like role and
Yeah.
influencer. Like she hangs out with the Kardashians.
Okay, so
Which doesn't mean anything, but I'm saying like she's very, very well known. But also so is Charlie.
So is
like,
Charlie.
I don't know.
So it's Addison Rae, and we actually met her.
We met her before she was an influencer.
Yeah.
Well, she was.
Well,
but like very small.
Kinda.
She had like 1 million on TikTok.
Oh, I think like 500,000.
Really?
She had like 8,000 followers, I'm pretty sure, on like Instagram, or like a
Yep.
low number on Instagram.
She was at a mutual friend's party.
Yeah.
Right?
So
I had no idea who she was.
Yeah. She was at her friend's house and we were at his house. It wasn't even a party. It was just they were hanging out. They were like an influencer house.
Yep.
And we were over there and she was a really sweet girl, like very nice, kind of like a little like young crazy, like kind of like what you would expect, like doing a ton of TikToks. And it was actually funny because who dared her to jump off the roof?
So she was hanging out with like Bryce Hall and that whole group.
Oh yeah, Bryce Hall was there
Taylor
too.
Holder.
Didn't Bryce Hall?
I believe she was on her TikTok live and she said someone's gonna send me $20 if I jump in the pool, or it was like a dare or something.
So she jumped off the roof into the pool for $20, or more. Like, holy crap, that girl just did that for $20.
Like,
I don't think I'd do that. Like that, it was cold. It wasn't like, it just didn't seem like fun. It was a full send. Got to give it to her. But she was really nice. She was like, I'm an influencer. Like, and she's like, here, like, and I was like, oh, like, cool. And like, we just started talking.
She manifested that for sure.
She did. She was
like
a very,
100%.
I thought she was a really sweet girl.
No, she was nice. I don't even think we really talked
and
that
I
much.
thought Bryce Hall seemed nice. He didn't seem like,
well, he's exactly what, like, I don't think he's any different than he is like on camera. And I think that's a lot of people want to know.
Was he the one? It wasn't Taylor. It was him that chugged the bottle of vodka.
He didn't chug a whole bottle, but he was chugging.
Was it him? I just remember someone chugging. I was like, bro.
I was like,
what? How can someone do that? That looked like painful.
Yeah, I think they were about to go out. It was like,
yeah, they were about to go out or something.
It was like a Sunday night though, so that's kind of random.
They probably just were going to like influencer friend's house or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they were really nice. And then speaking of another TikToker, Taylor Holder.
So it's kind of funny how I met him. I don't even know if you remember this. So a long time ago, before I knew I was fighting on that card, I feel like a lot of these are from fighting. Fans were sending me, or subscribers were sending me messages on Instagram like, oh, fight this kid. He just posted a story like he's looking for a fight. And I was posting and the same thing. It was like, oh, I'm trying to fight, blah, blah, blah. And I had no idea who he was. It was Taylor Holder.
Yeah.
And so I DM him. I was like, yo, I'd be down. And he DMs me back. He's like, let's run it. And I'm like, how much do you weigh? Like,
yeah, trying to get like, see if we can even fight.
Because you have to be like within a certain weight. He's like, I think he said like 140 or like maybe 160. Like
it was low.
It was way off. I weigh 200 pounds.
It wasn't 140 because he's taller.
Yeah, that would be
he's tall
low.
and skinny, so
it
it's probably like 160.
And I'm like, oh, dude, there's like no way. I was like, oh, I'm 200. Like, I don't think that would work. And he goes, yeah, like whatever. I don't know. The conversation kind of died out. Yeah. And then like at the weigh-ins for the fight, him and Bryce were standing together. Didn't know either of them, but I remembered him from the DM. So I walked up to him.
I know. I thought they came up to us.
No, I went up to him. I was like,
the weigh-ins of the first fight. I remember them talking to us, but I don't really remember knowing really who they were at the time.
I was like, what up? Like, we DM'd about like fighting, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh yeah, I remember that. And he's like, oh yeah, we should spar sometime, blah, blah, blah. It was like nothing important.
And then you met him at the other fight, the Austin Mcbroom fight.
Yeah.
And then he was actually nice. He came up to you. He was a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's never.
But then
nice.
Taylor Holder did unfollow you
about that. Yeah, because he did follow me on Instagram, and then
so Josh made a TikTok.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he unfollowed you.
It was lighthearted in my eyes, but maybe you could take offense to that. Yeah, if you just lost the fight.
He basically made a TikTok like pretending to be every single boxer in
because the event was pretty bad.
It was a terrible event.
The event was pretty bad.
But props to all them for doing it. But I really feel like it was a very like not mean joke. Like you were pretending to be him, and since he wasn't punching much, you were just like moving your head.
That's all I did.
That's all you did to like pretend like that's Taylor Holder fighting, like moving his head, and he like unfollowed you because of it. Which whatever. Like he probably was just like mad because he like didn't he like lose or he tied?
I thought he lost to Gibb. No, he lost.
Well, he should like not he should have lost, but like he definitely was losing.
He lost the fight, yeah.
Oh, do you remember the fight that almost broke out?
There was fights in the crowd between parents of
Parents
social media
of people. I
influencers.
feel like we can't even say exactly, but
No, we can't get into that,
but it was bad.
bad
It was
words were
bad
being
fights.
said.
Bad words were being said. Different
was
sides were
intense.
freaking out. Like one of the parents thought you weren't cheering on their kid, and they started like
She
cussing you
snapped
out.
on me.
Snapped and started cussing on you, and
Oh
then
my
like
gosh.
everyone was like, "Get her to calm down." Like she's going crazy again, and I was like, "What is going on?" It was
It's pretty
wild.
wild.
And then like Noah Beck got kicked out.
Yeah.
Which is weird because like we never really met Noah Beck, but like we're friends with Tatum, his sister, and I just remember seeing him. And then everyone's like, "You can't kick Noah Beck out," and Noah Beck got kicked out.
And we're like right next to
we're like
it.
right
I
there.
didn't think we were supposed to be in that
No,
spot.
but it was funny. So next person who is a YouTuber you actually met there too was FouseyTube.
Yeah, super nice.
What's actually funny is FouseyTube. I don't know. Back then I thought he was, and maybe he wasn't, but I'm pretty sure he was. We were at the Equinox. I used to work out at the Equinox gym. He lived right across the street from me.
Okay.
And he like came up to me and started talking to me. And in my opinion, he was like flirting with me.
Really?
Yeah. So like it cuts back to years later. He probably doesn't even know. He wouldn't even know who I was then. Like I wasn't even a big influencer. He probably thought I was just
You were probably just a cute girl at the gym.
And like
a game. Why
yeah,
not?
yeah, yeah. But it wasn't. It was just like a little conversation. It wasn't anything like crazy.
But if you start a conversation at the gym with a girl, like I feel like
yeah. You're like something, you know.
You're trying to get something going.
Yeah. So I don't know. But
he's cool.
And then
He's
you met
nice.
him too. He would like announce his fights, and he was really chill to you. He was really nice. This next person, I actually don't even know if you know who this is. His name's Collins Key.
No clue who that is.
If you hear a little gremlin in the background, that's our dog barking, being a bad boy.
He's going crazy. Someone must be at the door.
You don't know who Collins Key is?
I don't.
He's really big on YouTube. Like his videos have like millions and millions of views. But I met him one time at a party, and he was just a really sweet kid. So I just wanted to say that because I don't know. My sister actually worked on set with him too, because I know a lot of you guys might know him. And he was just a really down to earth, nice kid.
Okay.
He has a very successful YouTube channel, like millions and millions.
Yo, so I mean, we are a couple. This is your Couple Tea podcast, and we do have to discuss. I mean, if you guys have been following us on YouTube or not, we'll get into it. But we have hosted some of our own. Could we call them influencer events? Not events, but we called them couple retreats.
Yeah, the YouTube couple retreats. It was kind of more YouTube couple retreats to start. So we started off and we had like a whole bunch of influencers come. Well, it really just started off because it was right before Josh's fight and we wanted to go on a trip. We wanted to go to Florida and we found this really big house. It was really cool. And then we're like, why don't we just like invite influencers? Like it'd be so fun like to meet other people like that do YouTube. We're in Michigan. We don't really meet people.
Yeah, for me, it's like someone that is in the same industry as you. Like, why would you not want to meet them, get to know them, like be potential friends? I was like, we see all these couples on YouTube. We see them post all the time. I almost feel like I know who they are. I'm like, why don't we hang out with them or like invite them to hang out?
And it was so much fun. Like we had a whole bunch of different couples.
So cool.
It was such a cool experience.
Yep.
But some drama came with it.
Yeah, I mean there's always drama with stuff like that, but what drama? Oh, I know. Are you talking about
the other couple that hates us?
Yeah,
or hated us?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it really came with that, but there's a couple that wasn't invited unintentionally. Not
they weren't not invited. It was like there was only a couple. There was only a couple rooms, and those were just like the couples that we knew. And actually, the reason that they weren't is like because one of the couples at the times was not friends with them.
Yeah, and they just they asked if they were coming, and I said, "Oh, I wasn't."
And they basically said we won't come if they come, or like kind of like because they were. I get it. Like they were having like a falling out, like they didn't want to be there with a different couple.
Yeah, so that's fair. And so out of respect for them, and honestly the rooms were full anyways, we're just like, oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and there was like other couples that weren't invited too. So anyway, we had no problem with this couple. I'm pretty sure like we like would comment on their stuff and
I thought
like,
they were
whatever.
cool. And then one day I just woke up in the morning and
all of our subscribers are like blowing our phone up.
They're like, so and so is talking on a live stream.
Are you gonna say his name or no?
I don't care. His name's Elijah.
Yeah.
He was talking bad about us on a live stream, and we lived at the time on Eastern Standard Time, and it was like 8 a.m. So I was like, bro, it is 5 a.m. where this kid lives. Like, is he drunk? Like, I'm like curious.
You were just like curious, like
who's
what happened?
on live at 5 a.m. And like the way he was talking, like he seemed like very like upset.
something was
maybe
like
drunk. I don't know.
something was off. And
But he was basically coming for like our whole existence. Like we're fake. We're a fake couple. We're the most
we were
LA
told,
people he's ever met. And he's the one that lives in LA. I'm pretty sure.
so Josh is like the jock and Katie's like the cheerleader. They're the most LA people you'll ever meet in your life. And so we're like, what is going on? Like we've never met this guy. So Josh,
I was like, yo, add me in. And he had me in, and we had like a whole,
they literally had like beef on a live Instagram story. It was so like weird.
I actually had people message me or text me, like friends, like family, friends. And they're like, yo, like what is this, is for a YouTube video or something, right? Like what's going on? Like that wasn't real. And I was like, no, that was real. Like I just woke up and this kid was talking shit about me on Instagram. And I'm gonna defend myself, because like then I had people questioning.
They thought like we were joking with a friend. They're like, that's not real. Like you're joking with them. Like that's,
and I was like, no. As embarrassed as I was at the time, I think I was 25. I was like, I'm a 25-year-old. I just had like an Instagram live argument with another adult.
But the reason we even went on was because I was like, I'm not gonna let someone who I've never met tell people something about us that's not true. And we've never met him.
If he had met me, like he can say his own truth.
Everyone can say their own truth. And I honestly felt bad for his girlfriend I don't even know if they're together. I don't really keep in touch. But she apologized for him. She was like, I'm so sorry.
And
like
I'll back him up. He actually did end up apologizing.
Yeah.
I think the next day or even later that day.
And okay, the reason I think it started too, we forgot that, is because didn't we do a video and we're like, go comment on your favorite YouTubers, like subscribe to JD Vlogs or something.
Yeah.
And he thought that was like the most like dickish thing in the world. And like to us, like I guess I could see from his point why he thought that, but it wasn't supposed to be mean to our other couple friends that they were like, that was so funny. You guys are so smart.
Funny, and that was super smart. And I was like, well, I just thought it would be cool. Like I was like, that just shows support. Like, because I guess with the other couples is like we were maybe more on like a friend status. So it was like more like, oh, it's funny. Like all your supporters commenting on our videos. Like if anything, it just brought views and comments to their video. Like I wasn't trying to do anything malicious.
I feel like the thing is with a lot of influencers in the same space, sometimes they feel like it's competition when it's not competition. Like we're all like, if they get like millions and millions of subscribers, it doesn't hurt my channel. If they make millions of dollars, it doesn't hurt my bank account. Like it's just not a competition. If anything, it's like you grow together. You're both successful. You have fun making videos. Like, but anyway, we don't even not like them or anything. It was just a really weird situation, that like stupid drama that ended up obviously like being resolved in.
I want to say that was been our only ever like social media beef. No.
Nate Garner.
Oh my gosh, don't get me started on
this. So Elijah and Maddie, like I don't have any hard feelings towards them. Like I don't really know them or anything. This kid, I don't have anything. I really don't have much nice to say.
And it's honestly like kind of random to even bring his name up, because I don't even think he does any social media stuff anymore. But like at the time we had like 250,000 subscribers. Like he was right around there as well. And
we were both doing couple channels at the same time, right?
Yep.
He was dating like his like assistant or something, and like he was doing really well on social media too. And at the same time we were. And so we were both like growing together. And we were in Miami at the time. And I think
can I just say though, real quick, like for me, I love connecting with people. I love the opportunity. I love maybe meeting new people. Like
it's exciting to meet new people. Could spark
like from that. Or
we've made so many friends through social media and through like other influencers. Like
right. And like even with the couple retreats we've done, like you know how many times we've called each other or maybe like ask a question or whatever. Maybe we're not the bestest of friends, but
we're chill.
When I go to LA, I have a friend. When I go here, I have a friend.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the
acquaintance, whatever you want to call it.
The couple retreat, it's like people that you are like acquaintance, like friends. Like I know some people I think on social media think that you're like bestest of friends because of like those trips. It's like we did one trip together and like we're friends, but I wouldn't say it's like I'm not hitting them up if something bad goes on.
Yeah, like we all live in different states and stuff.
It's like different.
We haven't kept the connection like very tight. But so for example, like we were in Miami and so was this other influencer. And so I shot him a DM. I was like, yo, like we're in Miami. Like I'm not even asking to collab. I'm not asking to film a video. I'm like, yo, we should meet up. Like hang out. Like you and your girl have a couple channel. Me and my girlfriend at the time have a couple
couple channel.
Couple channel.
Mind you, they were from LA and we were from Michigan. So we were both in Miami at the same time.
It was such a coincidence. I was like, let's hang
Never
out.
hits us back up. We're like, whatever, maybe he
And
didn't see
just
it. Like, who cares?
us in YouTube videos about it. Like,
Then
I'm
starts
like, what?
dissing us. He started talking like mad crap about us in all his videos.
Time.
This guy was so salty about us. We didn't get it.
And it's funny that we're talking about it now because during the time, like, I don't think any of our subscribers knew.
We didn't talk
unless
about,
they watched his videos because it was very obvious he was roasting us.
So the only reason we knew is because our subscribers would take the screen recordings and they'd send them to us. And they literally started not liking him.
But we, like I always used to say, like, hater blockers on. Like, we never brought attention to the hate because I didn't want to like fuel his like fire, and like, eventually his fire burnt out. Like,
and so it got really ugly.
Yeah,
he started dissing us a lot in the videos and saying like little comments.
Yep.
And whatever. We're like, okay, this kid clearly has like issues. Like, why is he hating us so much?
Like him and his girl, I think got engaged like maybe in the summer, and then I proposed.
No. Like maybe like 2-3 months, a couple months before we got engaged, right? So they got engaged. He proposed to which they're not even together anymore. Their engagement didn't even last long.
It was just for you.
It was kind of, I mean, I hate to say it, but I
obvious.
really believe it just was for you.
It's so obvious.
Yeah. And so he proposed to his girlfriend and didn't really last long. He does it in a flower field. A couple of months later, Josh proposes at the fight. He goes on his Instagram, starts saying like F JD vlogs, or like F all these fake YouTubers who are proposing just for clout, copying the same ass, like literally calling Josh out on like saying that we copied him for proposing.
I was like, bro, like, if
you
I
realize
proposed to, like, I hope he had.
I hope he knows.
Was like, I had bought that ring months before that. Like,
and I hope he knows.
I even knew he proposed. Like,
he didn't invent proposing. You know, everyone does it. Not even just influencers.
I know.
Literally everyone does it.
And what's crazy is
it's completely different.
We actually talked about this in the last podcast of people like putting their own like insecurities out on other people. Yeah. And what's crazy is he's the one that proposed for views, and he's the one whose relationship fell out.
Yeah.
And stopped doing social media and all that stuff. And I'm like, obviously, I don't think our proposal was for views. Like, here, 2 years married. It's like, I'm pretty sure
it wasn't, because we're so in love, and like I feel like that's very apparent to people. But the thing is, like, it was just so wild because it was sad. Like the night of our engagement, we're so excited, and Josh almost like posted something back on his Instagram story.
Clapped back, and I was like, hater blockers on.
He's like, don't say anything, don't give attention to like the hate, and like we moved on from that. But I just remember being so upset. I was like, we're literally like, we just got engaged, and this clown is literally like bashing us. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, why? For what reason? Like, and he literally was like, remember he like post picture of Mills, he's like, fuck all these. He was like going so in and so mean.
Yeah, and
for no reason.
It's a little scary. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, you never
know what fuels people's fire.
But the thing is you never know what's going on with him. Because I remember, like, I think when like they were breaking up and stuff, like he had said something about him going through some like, I don't know, like maybe depression or something. So like the thing is, like, I wouldn't even want to like I say, I have nothing good to say about him, but in reality, like, I don't have hate towards him. I think you never know what he's going through. And
well, it's funny because you brought it up. He could be
battling like mental health stuff or like other things going on in his life, and maybe just accidentally took it out on us. So that's why I feel like it is always good to not respond, even though you did with like Elijah. I even feel like you could have just left.
Yeah, but I didn't say anything mean, but I was just defending myself. I was just like, hey, man, to be honest, like, you don't know us. Like, how can you say these allegations? Like, you don't know a thing about us.
Well, that was the same videos. That was the same thing as like Nate Garner. He had never met us.
Yeah.
So it just was like stupid petty drama that like we obviously totally forgot about. But when I'm thinking of like influencers, it's like, oh my gosh, I literally was like, Josh, do you remember this? He's like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So it's wild stories. It's wild that like some influencers will like go through things, and I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean, that brings us back to like what we were talking about in the beginning is a lot of questions we always get on YouTube or any social media, or when we meet people in person, a lot of times they say, oh my gosh, like, you are really the same as you are in your videos. Like, that's so like, comforting to know that, or to see that. Yeah. I don't know. That's so comforting. And I'm like, well, yeah, like, what do you think? And they're like, well, we thought like maybe you'd be mean or just not nice or not friendly, or maybe you're not like as energetic as you really are in your videos. And I'm like, I don't think we could fake it for so long.
But a lot of people have met other YouTubers who probably aren't. So it's
right. And
but
that's
the
what I'm
thing
saying.
is I get sometimes maybe like you meet someone who's more energetic in YouTube and maybe they're just like not like super like, I don't know, like cheerful that moment. So like maybe that could be, but I feel like we post so much content. So like you guys have seen us cheerful, you've seen us not cheerful. You've really seen us. I mean, especially even with this podcast, you've seen it all.
Us just sitting down, chilling, like
you guys have really seen it all. So
that's
it's like
why I really like the podcast because it's so unique to what we've done before. You know, like Instagram, like and YouTube, like we've posted completely like our lives, like sad, happy moments and everything, but never just us sitting down for like an hour just chatting.
And it's funny since we're like angled, like talking to each other. Like I know we're talking to you guys.
I forget the cameras on.
I forget the cameras on. So like one time I was sitting like the last podcast I was like
feet up on the knees,
like legs almost like spread up. I'm like, why am I sitting like a man? Comfy. I'm like, what is going on? Like I forget I'm being like filmed. So I'm like,
just getting comfy.
I need to get back to it. But that leads us like, so that's pretty much all the influencers I have. Do you have any other that you can think of?
Influencers. Honestly, no, but that just brings me. I want to touch on what we were talking about in the beginning. Like, do you think that we are like that stereotypical influencer? Like, do we fit the stereotype? You know what I'm saying? Because to me, I believe. What do you think the stereotype even is? For me, I think the stereotype is like, oh, like they're super self-centered. Like all they care about is content. They'll do anything for content.
I think that used to be like the old way of thinking of influencers too, but also I think like influencers or it's like they're a little rude. They take a lot of pictures. Yep. I'd say sometimes we're like influencers and sometimes not. I feel like our friends, like they're always like, I forget you guys are like when people come up to us, they're like, I always forget you guys are like famous. And like, I don't even like saying that word because I don't think we're like famous, but they'll be like, I forget you guys are like famous. It's so weird when people come up to you guys. Like, I'm still not used to it because like, he's like, you guys are just so like normal and you guys and like the most like weirdos, like, you know, so that's where I just feel like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I was going to say, I don't really think we're the stereotypical influencers at all. Like if anything, quite the opposite. Like I think when we go do something fun, like we definitely like to grab a picture. Yeah. But then you'll see like 4 other random people that definitely, they don't do social media and they're also getting a picture. Like when you hike to the top of a mountain that you've never hiked to, like most people get a picture.
And I also think that we get like,
I don't think that's like, oh, you're an influencer because you're grabbing the picture.
We don't love doing things like for the picture, for the content.
Hate it. We don't do like, anything for
sometimes
content.
A lot of times we don't film or don't do things like take pictures or like
half the stuff I love to do. Sometimes I don't even post because I'm like, I don't think like anyone cares.
Like we don't really post a lot of the stuff we do. I love mountain
biking, like, skydiving. Like
you'll post like maybe a video here and there of you skydiving, but you skydive all the time. You go to the tunnel all the time. We go mountain biking all the time. Like there's a lot. I feel like I go to the gym every single day and I do not even post.
And also I don't think everything needs to be posted. No. Like I think we're both at that stage in our life where it's like not everything needs to be posted. Like I don't think we're ever really like that, but I think like in the beginning it was like, oh, like it's so cool. Like I want to share it with everybody.
Yeah.
And which I still feel that way, but a lot of times now it's like I really want to like sit back and like enjoy.
Yeah, I feel like,
and if we get cool content, then sick. If not, whatever.
Especially when we hang out with our friends. Like think when we're like with all of our friends, like Mercedes and Noah, Jordan, and all of them, and Scotty and
you're just trying to just
like
kick it.
We just like don't. Or even like when I'm with my other friend Bella, like if I go get coffee with her or something, like we don't like.
It's just
I don't always post it. Like there's like a lot of my friends that I just don't feel the need to post because it's like, I don't know. Like I'm just like, sometimes I'm so in the moment where I feel like if I'm posting, maybe it's because I'm bored or maybe, you know, like, yeah. I'm not saying that I would post because I'm bored because there's sometimes where I'm like, oh, we look so cute. We got to get a picture. Right. Or like think like when we hang out with Rachel and Ricky, like we don't like post all the time. Like sometimes we do.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think everything needs to even go on social media, even though we literally post on every single platform.
But that's possible. Why I'm just saying more so on like Instagram stories. Yeah, is kind of more so what I'm thinking because I feel like Instagram stories. We used to post like everything on Instagram stories.
Yeah, so it's crazy. 2 influencers sitting here talking about influencers.
2 influencers talking about how they're not influencers. No, I'm just kidding.
But they are, and they post on every platform. But that's okay because like I said, I don't think we're the stereotypical influencers. No. And
one thing
I think
you know what I think we're a little different than the typical influencer because I think the typical influencer really they just like they love to consume. They love social media too. I feel like one thing that we are a little different than most people is we don't love to consume social media, but we love to create social media. Like I feel like my spark is like, I just feel like I'm so happy when I'm making TikToks, when I'm making things. But when I sit on TikTok, sometimes I feel a little drained and I feel like a little of my like, I just don't feel as happy as when I'm creating. So that's why I love making more content rather than consuming it. For me personally, like I know I like to consume it, but sometimes I get in the habit of it.
No, I 100% agree. Is there any other influencer drama that we need to talk about before?
We honestly, like, I feel like don't get into too much like influencer drama. Obviously, other than like a friendship fallout, you know.
Right.
But like that's not really like to me influencer drama. Like that was kind of more so just real life, like stuff that you don't want to talk about
all the time in real life.
Or not like talk about, but like things that I don't know. Sometimes like when you go through things in your life, there's some things you don't want to talk about. Well, and that kind of made me mad. Oh, sorry. Can I say this real quick? I just thought this. Some people are like, you owe it to explain everything that happened. And I'm like, I don't though. Like, why do they think they own that? Just because I showed like part of my life. Like, even if, let's say like obviously we're not going to, but let's say we broke up and we decided we didn't want it to go on social media. Like I get like we can explain like kind of where things go wrong. But I still don't feel like we owe it to people to go through something that we don't feel comfortable going through online, even if they saw us at happy moments, you know?
No, I don't think, I mean, for me personally, I don't think we have to post anything. Like I never think that. For us, I think we do like to share a lot, and definitely with the friendship that was all over social media, just because like that's what we were doing in life at the time.
Yeah.
I see why someone would want clarity.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think everything needs to be like shared, and not even saying that it's like too bad to share on social media. No. That's not even the case. It's just like,
but I think a lot of things, it's like a he said, she said drama.
Yeah, like at this point, it's like, okay, we're not friends anymore. It's very obvious.
It's very,
to everyone. And that's
like, unfortunately, like
you're gonna get.
It's clarity, you know, like I feel like this is one thing I could say on that. And like anyone I've ever had, like not friends with anymore, even like an ex, like, cause last episode was all about like exes. It's like people that have like come across my life and gone. It's like, I wish them nothing but the best. I honestly still pray for people that I cannot stand to this day, because I feel like there's things where it's like, you still cared about that person at one point in your life. And like 100%. Regardless, like I don't want harm to come to anyone, even if they did me so dirty or anything happened. I just don't want, I don't know, like it's just, I don't want that.
No, I mean, I think like you said, we talked about exes all last podcast, and this like goes the same way, like ex friends or like past friends, whatever you want to call it. It's like the same exact thing. I think you learn a lot. Like maybe you had a lot of good times, a lot of bad times, whatever it was, but there's a reason why you parted ways. And
I truly believe that everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
Like I am like so positive that because like one chapter ends, many other open. Like I believe in that so much.
That's why we always say life is a journey, because honestly, like, I mean, 27 years old, and I feel like there's so much more I'm going to experience in life, so many more new people I'm going to meet, and this and that. And it's like, I look back on my life and like, there's so many chapters, and like, I would hate if anything changed. Yeah. Like I love how my life has led up so far, and there was hard times, good times, bad times, crazy times. And it's like, I love them all. Yeah, you know, because that's who made me, that's what I am today. And like, I'm curious like where it's going to go.
Wow. Where are we at? I feel like we've been talking for a minute.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we're getting kind of random. We just kind of started talking, but this is Your Cup of Tea podcast, and we hope you guys got all the tea you wanted.
Yeah, we really like filled you guys in, and like we said, we just don't want to like bring hate to other influencers.
We like to keep it lighthearted. Like I hope like no one's watching this like, oh my gosh, like
I don't want you guys to think we're sitting down like shit talking like all
we
these.
We call it Your Cup of Tea podcast, but it's like, you know, whatever. It's not always tea, you know.
No, to me, it's truth. It's your life experiences, and 100%. Like I don't know, like sometimes.
And that is the tea, because like a lot of people don't speak the truth, or don't like say like their honest opinions and stuff. So that is the real tea.
And there's like obviously some things I feel like that. There's some things that I think we'll never talk about on here, like not like crazy big things or like little stories or something, just because we wouldn't want that to be out in the public for other people or for certain things.
We'll see though, because you never know. Things get
no, there's certain like lines I just feel like we wouldn't cross.
You know why I think we're still going is because neither of us know how the hell to outro a
Oh my
podcast.
God, Josh is so awkward with this. All you do is say, bye guys. Thanks for watching. Okay, that was a little awkward. But anyway, we just want to say we really appreciate you guys listening. If you guys are listening on Apple or Spotify, please make sure to give it a 5-star review and follow us.
And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and leave a comment. Share with a friend.
Share with a friend. Also, comment down below what other type of like episodes you guys want us to talk about, like categories. We have a ton planned, but we just want to see what you guys want to know.
We want to give the people questions, what they want.
Ask for some tea questions.
That's right.
Some tea questions. What kind of tea do you drink? Black
or green tea?
But anyway, guys, this is your couple tea, and we hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys in the next one.